So FM26 is just a matter of weeks away now, and I am here today to bring you 5 teams you may well want to manage on FM26 across Europe. There's some absolute pearlers in here. And the first team out the 5 brings us to Serie A in Italy, and it is Pisa, the Leaning Tower and all that jazz, recently promoted to the top flight of the Italian league. And this club, make no mistake, are definitely a team on the rise. Look at their history. They're growing, but they're honours to their name. They've got 1 Italian Serie B, a couple of Mitropa Cups and a few lower league trophies as well. Can you come in? Can you add to their silverware collection? There will be work to do behind the scenes if this is going to be a long-term save idea. Reputation could be improved most definitely, but the training facilities, youth facilities and youth recruitment all desperately need improving. Now, some of the players you have at your disposal from day dot, you have an abundance of experience, the likes of Scuffi in goal, Raul Albiol at centre-half, potentially partnering Calabresi, another good centre defender. There's also a lot of experience, the likes of Juan Cuadrado, the former Chelsea, Fiorentina and Juventus player. Another Football Manager legend at 37 years of age in Miguel Veloso in that defensive midfielder position. And even though he's aging, most definitely still has a part to play. But with all that experience, they have got a lot of good young players. Thomas Esteves, formerly of Porto. Malte Højholt coming in, the Danish kid, solid, strong centre midfielder. The quality, the experience, the pace, the power of Calvin Stengs in the wide area. Exciting young prospect, the former Bologna man in Emmanuel Vignato. Another exciting hot prospect here at Pisa is Henrik Vendel Meister. Could come in, can do a job for you up front, can also play on the left-hand side, but keep your eye on Meister if this is going to be the job for you. And they have some serious quality up front. Mbala, Nzola, former Fiorentina man. They brought him in. He's quality. He's big. He's strong. He's quick. He knows where the back of the net is. And I tell you what, Pisa really have got some squad. In your first season, you are going to be favourites to go down, slap, bang, bottom of the Serie A. But I think with this squad at your disposal, the quality, the good blend of youth and experience, I think relegation won't be a problem surviving that. I think you can really kick on and maybe dare to dream of a top half finish. Or maybe, just maybe, dream of an outside chance of some European football. So the second team, we head over to the second division in Holland. And it brings us to Vitesse, a club with all sorts of financial perils. There are problems on the field. There are problems off the field as well, but it's not all doom and gloom. Regarding the facilities, the training facilities and the youth facilities are very, very good indeed. So potentially and hopefully you could bring some superstars through the youth academy, sell them for a tidy profit and start to steady the ship here at Vitesse. But be under no illusions, guys and girls, there is a hell of a lot of work to do to get these back into the top flight of Dutch football and also on a financially sound footing. As you meet your squad on the first day of your arrival, you're not going to be greeted with absolute superstars. What you are going to get is a very, very young squad indeed, with a kind of little pinch of experience. And saying that, the likes of Butner there, 34 years of age, still decent, can do a job, probably one of your better players at your football club. You've still got Marco Shikura at the football club, another solid wing back. So straight away, Butner and Shikura are probably your best 2 players, and they are both fullbacks. But across the rest of the team, it's very young and some of them aren't too great. You will recognise this kid here in Dylan Hugerworth, formerly of Manchester United. Decent winger, can play him up front. I reckon he can do a decent job for you. But some of the highly rated players at the football club, starting off with Geronimo Londar, talented centre-half, Dutch kid, 16 years of age, already valued at £3 million, just over. Could he be a player you'd look to cash in early on? You've got Valon Zumberi, the 21-year-old Kosovan centre-back who looks very, very good and probably another one of the better players here at the football club. So you've got a really, really small squad on day dot. You will have to plunder what is in the B team here at Vitesse. I know in real life Adam Tahawi is in the first team. Dutch centre midfielder, potentially could do a job. And they've also got Maxwell Rodriguez, who actually looks not too bad. He's young. You're going to need a little bit of time to bed these players in, to bleed them into the first team. But be under no illusions, guys and girls. This is going to be a very, very difficult side. You've not just got to contend with problems on the field and lack of quality. You're going to have problems in the back room, the boardroom. They're going to want to sell your players willy-nilly and try and balance the books. The season preview, I think, will alter on FM26. They seem to think it's going to be a mid-table finish, and most of the times a relegation team is favoured to go back up. Not the case with Vitesse. We can see them potentially even getting relegated from this division. So this is going to be very, very difficult, and expect to finish towards the bottom end of the Football League here in Holland. The Media Dream 11, there's not one Vitesse player. So yeah, that can only spell trouble going forward. The third team takes us to La Liga in Atletico Madrid. And as I call them, the almost nearly team. They've almost nearly won a lot more Champions Leagues. Almost nearly won a lot more La Ligas. But they do have a long, rich list of honours. 11 La Liga titles. 1 UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. 3 UEFA Europa Leagues, 3 Super Cups, the list goes on. Can you add to that? I think with a squad at your disposal from day dot, it should not be a problem in the short term. You are going to experience some big derby days. Real Madrid, it's a fierce rivalry, but the same goes for Barcelona and Sevilla. Can you get the better of all of your rivals across the campaign? The squad you are going to have at your disposal is fantastic, from goalkeeper all the way through to the strikers. Still got Jan Black in goal. Absolute superstar. 30 years of age. Plenty of miles left in his tank. One of the best goalkeepers in world football. Your centre-back partnerships, you've got the likes of Robin Lenormand going up with Jose Jimenez. You've got the experience of Lenglet. You've got David Hanko as well, the Slovak international. Another solid centre defender. Can play out wide left as well. But as you go for the team into the centre midfield, you've got the engine of Conor Gallagher. You've got Lorente Cardoso, the veteran in Koke. And it just gets better and better. They've managed to get the loan deal of Nico Gonzalez from Juventus, an absolutely superstar wide player. The young, exciting player in Thiago Almada. Keep your eye on him. But not only that, if you look at the strikers now, Julian Alvarez, absolute world beater, only 23, will be 24, 25 upon FM26. They've got Raspadori, quality international there for Italy, £22.5 million from Napoli. They've got Griezmann, 32 years of age, still can do a job and play at the very, very highest level. We can safely say the season preview won't really change on the new FM. Real Madrid and Barcelona are going to be favourites above you. You're, of course, going to be in that third place. You can see the difference in the golfing class between the top 3 and everyone else below. It goes from 9-1 to 33-1. I expect it to pretty much be the same sort of thing in FM26. But like we said, it's not the hardest save in the world, but it's also not the easiest. You've got to compete with Real Madrid and Barcelona. They've got more clout in the market. They've probably got better players. You're still going to have to be a very, very good manager. Be actually on point in your transfers. Get every single ounce of energy and quality and skill out of your players if you are to go on and eventually become La Liga champions. And we're going to say it out loud, even dare to dream, maybe even Champions League winners once again. The fourth team, we head across to Germany, the Bundesliga in Bayer Leverkusen. A world-renowned team, but not really too many honours to show for it. They've won 1 Europa League, 1 DFB Pokal, and not really too much more at all. They've had controversy off the field. They lost Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid. They brought in Ten Hag, and then Ten Hag left. Can you be the manager to come in and steady the ship here at Bayer Leverkusen? They are a very, very well thought of club around the world. They've got a fair bit of money to spend, especially with the sales of Florian Wirtz. But looking at the squad, when you do join, they've got some good players. The goalkeeper, not so bad in Mark Flecken, 30 years of age, Dutch international. Could you improve? Absolutely, but I think for the short term, will be a very, very good goalkeeper indeed. At the back, they may well have lost Frimpong to Liverpool, but that squad definitely, just off a brief, quick glimpse, Tapsoba, Gerald Kwanzaa, Loic Bardet, they've got in Luca Vasquez, Arthur, Alex Grimaldo, the set-piece specialist at left-back. The defence is pretty much set and ready to kick on straight away. The glaring weakness for me here at Bayer Leverkusen is definitely now in the midfield. Of course, looking at this, they have got Belachan, they've got Palacios, Fernandez, Garcia. They've brought in the new player, Elise Ben-Seguir from Monaco. But overall, there's not really too much quality in there. Have they replaced Wirtz accordingly? I don't think so. They've got the money in the bank. There will be a few quid to spend, I'm sure of it, when you do take over. But where the quality does start up again then is in the attacking department. They've still got Ernest Poku, bags and bags of pace, bags of quality. They've got Mazza. They've still got Patrick Schick, the Czech Republic hitman. But what I'm very excited about is Claudio Echeverri on loan. You've already got him for a year from Man City. Can he be the man to follow you to some silverware in the first season? Can he get you into the Champions League? Can he get you where the money is? In the season preview, very much the same as Atletico Madrid. I can't really see it changing too much from here. Bayern Munich, obviously, clear favourites. Dortmund, second favourites. And there's Leverkusen in third. If you are to take this job, there's harder saves out there. But it's not going to be easy to conquer Bayern Munich and get on top of the Bundesliga, especially with the power and the clout they have in this division and around Europe. In the media Dream 11, you've only got one player. It's pretty much dominated by Bayern Munich, but you will have Alex Grimaldo, your superstar left back. The question is, a player of that quality, a player of that ilk, how long can you keep hold of him for? Wirtz was poached, Frimpong was poached. Can you keep hold of Grimaldo for the long term? The fifth and final team takes us to Italy in the Serie B with a very sad story with UC Sampdoria. A team that was once top of Italian football. They were winning Cup Winners' Cups. They were winning Coppa Italians. They had some real fantastic players here. The light of Ruud Gullit, Gianluca Pagliuca, Vincenzo Montella, and the list really, really does go on. The list of honours, they've won one Serie A title, one Cup Winners' Cup, 4 Coppa Italias and a Super Coppa as well. So there's a lot of honours won. They're a really well thought of club in Italy, not just by Sampdoria fans. The whole of Italy really does have a soft spot for Sampdoria. When and if you take this job, your first call is going to be to sort out the finances, try and steady the ship. I'm not saying you're going to get out of Serie B straight away. It may well take a season or two to build your squad up to where you need it to be. But the finances are in a real sorry state of affairs. If you get offers in for players, your board will most definitely sell them, move them on to try and keep the club afloat. But they're a club steeped in history and tradition. They've got fantastic training facilities. You really could do with looking at improving the youth recruitment as you go through this save, though. The squad since relegation really has been stripped down of most of its quality, but they do still hold a few very important players. They've still got Simone Profundi on loan from Udinese, a very good player, instrumental if you are going to steer clear of a back-to-back relegations and find yourself sinking even lower in the Italian football divisions. They've still got Massimo Coda, decent striker. Yes, he's 34 years of age, but look at this, he knows exactly where the back of the net is with 173 goals. But not just them there, they've got the quality of Barak. They've got him from Fiorentina, another solid player that can do a job in that cam role. Keep your eye on him, but what you will notice is the squad is pretty much very young, with like a nice little pinch once again of experience. But build no illusions, guys. Like I said, just if you get any offers in for some of your superstar players, the likes of Coda, Barak, Vanucci, Ferry, Henderson, your board will accept these. I think it's going to be under some agreements with the hierarchy and sort of bank constituents and all these finance companies that you are to sell players at the nearest opportunity. It's going to be an absolute dream save if you can get Sampdoria back into Serie A, back at the top sort of tier of the Italian football leagues, and maybe maybe just even competing in some sort of European competitions. On here now, they have got a 3-1 odds of going back up to the Serie A. That's not going to happen. In real life, things are a lot worse than what this game is showing now. I reckon you will be predicted to finish maybe in the bottom 6 of the Serie B. Can you come in? Can you get this club galvanised? Can you get the fans back behind the team? Can you get the players excited? And can you steer clear of the relegation zone? You're going to have to be at your very, very best managerially if you are going to accomplish this very, very difficult challenge. So there's 5 teams from around Europe you may want to take a look at when it comes to your first save on FM26. There's some easy saves. There's also some heartbreaking saves. Like we said, Sampdoria really falling from grace. They're finding themselves on hard times. It's going to be one hell of a challenge to get them back to the top of Italian football. I really think there's something in there for everybody. Of course, there's other teams out there, the likes of Bordeaux, teams like that. You may want to rebuild them as well. But I've seen too many videos on that, and I didn't want to put it in this video either. So yeah, any suggestions, guys? Drop it down below in the comments. Any other interesting, exciting saves you may think people want to undertake on FM26. But anyway, all that aside, like, subscribe, all that jazz. I will see you next time.